What's up, guys? I'm Chris Eaton, and welcome to episode 106 of Snakes and the Fat Man.
Doubting whether it's true. All the things you said you couldn't do. Not in the mood for a failure. Always staring up high, hoping for a glimpse of the sky. This ain't no time to pretend. I'll feed your ego. Together we go. Playing dirty, talking cheap. Am I in too deep?
This episode is sponsored by my good friends over at Reptichip. At the end of the day, you want your animals to be happy, right? Well, it has been scientifically proven, according to me, that your reptiles will be happier on Reptichip. They make a chip to fit every reptile on the planet. Plus, the company is owned and operated by a veteran, a real American hero. Don't be a repta bitch. Support the people that make this hobby great. Go buy a bag, a brick, or a bigger bag of Reptichip right now at reptichip.com. Just get on it. oh, 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 oh. Hey there, everyone. You're tuned in to Snakes and the Fat Man with your host, Chris. I've got something thrilling to share with you today. Have you ever felt a bit lost navigating your snake collection or breeding plans? Well, I've got the solution just for you. Enter Andre and Patrick from Chimera, experts in the field and the guys you wish you knew sooner. They offer top notch consulting services tailor made for the snake enthusiast we are. They will help you meticulously evaluate your collection, giving you an insider's look into optimizing your lineup. And that's not all. They also specialize in drafting breeding plans and long term project planning that factor into both your current needs and future goals, saving you time and resources in the process. With their expertise, breeding becomes a piece of cake. Cake. But here's the clincher. Andre and Patrick can help develop a business model that's designed to work for you. It's a holistic approach for maximizing your investment and passion in snake keeping. Two words there that I hate: holistic and passion. But they're giving me money, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. So don't wander in the dark. Get in touch with Andre and Patrick at Chimera and let the experts guide you. Remember, this is Snakes and the Fat Man, and we're all about taking the hiss out of handling your snakes. My snake hisses when I handle it. Go visit Patrick and Andre now at chimerareptile.com. Tune in next time for more exciting snake-centric chat. Catch you later, folks. All right, boys and girls, we're only a month away. That's 2 episodes away from the launch of the 2023 15 Minutes of Lame contest. On December 1st, I'll be doing a live at 8 p.m. with last year's winners, Leviathan Snakes, and we're going to launch the contest right then and there, 8 p.m., December 1st. The contest is only going to run for just over 3 weeks this year. It's not going to be 2 months like it was last year. That was just a little bit ridiculous. But the winner is still going to be announced on December 25th. That's Christmas Day. That's the birth of little baby Jesus, okay? We're going to announce the 2024 winner of the 15 Minutes of Lame contest. The winner will get their own full show on my first show of the year. That's going to be January 1st, 2024. They'll also get a bunch of designer Snakes and a Fat Man swag. And the best part, they will carry the mantle into 2024 of Lamest of the Lame. Also on December 1st, Leviathan Snakes and I will be premiering the brand new film by Stephen and Courtney Capps, 15 minutes of ball python documentary. Now, I got to watch this film already, and I have to tell you, it's a brilliant movie that shows off just how much fun the breeding and social side of this hobby could be. I really hope that you guys stick around on December 1st after the live and watch this film and realize what this hobby could actually be. So this year, we're going to do the same thing we did last year. Online voting is going to consist of 25%. Then we're going to have 3 other judges. Leviathan Snakes, that's Stephen and Courtney Capps, their last year's winner. Shane Kelly, who is the first year winner of 15 Minutes of Lame back in, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and Donato Signore. So they're going to comprise 75% of the voting, and the online voting is going to be 25%. So really, try and impress those judges this year, and we honestly can't wait to see a lot of your campaigns. All right, let's take a gander over at what Herp's got going on. They're going to be in Lake Charles, Louisiana on November 4th and 5th. They're going to be in West Monroe, Louisiana on November 18th and 19th. They're going to be in Austin, Texas on December 2nd and December 3rd. And they're going back to Slidell, Louisiana on December 9th and 10th. Then the first show of the new year is going to be in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on January 13th and 14th. Then they're going to be in Longview, Texas on January 20th and 21st. And then they're going to have the big show, January 27th and 28th in Conroe, Texas. That's a couple of their biggest shows of the year. So if you can get to any of them, try to get there. Then they're going to be in Corpus. I can't even talk. Can't even talk right now. They're going to be in Corpus Christi, Texas on February 24th and 25th. Listen, head on over herpshow.net. Ask any questions you want to Sean or Lori. They will answer you right away. But more importantly, show up to a herp show, okay? They have like 80 a year, all right? There has to be one close to you. Show up to a herp show, herpshow.net. Boom. #1 reptile shipping company in the country. And they did it in what, like under a year? I think that alone shows you that every reptile shipping company is not the same. I mean, clearly Redline is doing something better. And what are they doing? Are they resting on their laurels, on their fucking high horse, on their fucking ivory tower above the community? No, they're still doing it better. Use the coupon code ROBIN60 to get 60% off your first 2 shipments with Redline. Then when you're done with that, use the code FATMAN5 and get an additional $5 off Redline's already discounted rates. Listen, you're better off red. Go fly the colors and check out redlineshipping.com right now. All right, what we're going to do here is we're going to whet your appetite a little bit. We're just going to give you a little, just a little. This is the 15 minutes ball python documentary trailer. Like nobody was playing the long game back then except like guys like Justin and Ozzy.
The thought process was, generally speaking, is that a morph would be found and you'd buy that mutation, you'd make more of them and sell them.
Basically, he was like, hey, you still got the snakes. I was breeding them out in California.
Then I found Snakes and the Fat Man, and I remember just listening to like the first episode, I believe it was Ralph Davis.
When I first saw the 15 Minutes of Blame, I thought it was genius.
He started a comeback right as I was on my build, and I got in 15 Minutes of Lame, and we kind of like did it together.
Then I started interviewing some people that were actually doing things the right way and made me look stupid.
That's when I started thinking like, well, it'd be really cool if we won that contest. It'd be really cool if we got in on the 15 minutes of lame. That would open up, you know, a whole new group, like a whole new audience for us.
Most people, when they come to that requirements, they think, I'm not sure I want to do this that bad. That's the difference maker, in my opinion, of who succeeds and who doesn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fat Man proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Canova. So in the past few years, Canova's become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
Well, everybody. Look who I got here. I got Jared and Allison Wood, Jaw-Dropping Morphs. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
How are you?
I figure I got to get you Tennessee people in before the end of the year. So, you know, let's see what we could do. But, and you guys are in Eastern Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no time difference there, right?
No.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Well, you know how this shit works. You got 15 minutes to fucking pimp all your bullshit. And we're going to start that right now. Now, first of all, why should people buy from you guys? I mean, you got Shane Kelly there. You got Bree Barham there. You got fucking Brittany Gobble there. Why should people buy from Jaw-Dropping Morphs?
I would say we're veteran and family owned and operated. That's the whole family, me, my wife, and my daughter. We're all in it. I don't really think anybody should buy from us instead of, because everybody's breeding quality shit. So if you're not breeding quality stuff, then that's a little different. But those names you named are some stiff competition.
Well, those people are breeding quality shit. I mean, the majority of people are not really breeding quality shit.
That's fair.
I mean, you guys ran a show. You know how that fucking goes. What's with the name?
So the Jaw is Jared and Allison Wood. It's our name, and then
oh my god, that's fucking gay. Okay, all right, fucking really. And then you didn't want to call it just Jaw Morphs.
Pretty much. I mean, we did try to do a play on word there and make it a little fun. And then the logo that's my daughter's face in the center there with the jaw-dropping facial expression. So
now you can't now I can't make fun of the logo because the kid's in it.
Exactly.
Fuck. Well played, my friend. All right, how long have you been doing this?
I think this is our 3rd year breeding, 4th year in the hobby.
So you guys started right before COVID?
Yep. Right before. So I think we had 2 or 3 ball pythons when COVID hit.
Okay. Oh, so you did have a couple of ball pythons.
Yeah.
And then what made you think, fuck, I could make a living out of this?
A night on bourbon and YouTube.
Yeah, that's about what it would take. Yeah. Christ. Fucking A. I mean, what's going on right now with the market? I mean, shit's not fucking selling. So is your plan just to kind of stock up your shit and just start putting out great shit next year? Or are you trying to sell, like mid-level to higher end animals this year?
So in my opinion, I think the market is saturated more towards the higher end. I think that's where the abundance is, because everybody's pushing high end stuff, and they're starting to leave the pet quality or new breeders out. They're making stuff so expensive that other people can't afford it. And I think that's why I've not had an issue selling snakes.
Right. But the new breeders, they're looking to buy the more expensive stuff. You know that they're not going to buy $300 to $500 snakes all day.
Not all day.
Not all day, but I also think that's another issue is people spend outside of their means and then wonder why they can't afford.
Well, I think that the issue with the pet people is that every time I talk to one of them, they've had a clutch or two, and they just say, "Yeah, I had a clutch. I mean, nothing great, you know, but I still had a clutch." Well, then why the fuck are you hatching out those fucking animals that are just kind of sentenced to die right off the bat? You know, like I mean, how much of a pet market is there for ball pythons, do you think?
I think the pet market's still there, but I think it's shifted. So we can't have a bunch of normals and single genes that look like shit in the pet market because that's not what people want to buy. People want to buy pretty animals. They still want to buy bananas. They still want to buy bells. They still want to buy things that are bright and pop and do something. So yeah, it may not be. I mean, you're not going to get $300-400 for a bell anymore. You may get 150, 200, but nobody wants a $50 normal. If they do, then they probably can't take care of it and afford a good snake anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, bells and pies will fucking sell all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go to a show probably and sell 10 bells right at the show to pet people, or 10 pies, you know, to pet people. So you might be right there as far as the pet market goes. Is that your main market right now?
Right now it is. We're looking to elevate some things to get into like the newer breeders.
Right.
We can't. I mean, I don't think anybody can compete with the big dogs. You know, you're trying to go against Bob Boo or Justin or even Brian Carter, Shane Kelly. They've got such a jump on everybody else that trying to compete with those guys and catch up, it's not going to happen. You just got to do what you think's pretty and what you like and hope for the best.
Well, that's the whole thing. If you don't chase it, you're eventually going to be successful, right? Because if you just do what you want to do and what you like, because you're not going to make the next Pompeii in the next year and a half or two,
Right.
So you've been doing this for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
How much money have you put into it versus how much have you gotten out?
I would say the last time we between the rat building, the snakes, the racks, everything, we're probably 50K.
Yeah.
50, 60K. And then we've started making money back last year. And then this year. So we're probably, and we haven't paid off what we've put in, but we've made back probably $5,000.
Okay. Well, $5,000. I mean, that's 10%, right? In 4 years, you're doing better than a restaurant would.
Yeah.
Is the goal to do this full time?
So once I retire from my current position and then I have that to go off of, maybe. But for her, probably not. It would be for me if I can have this to fall back on as more money on top of my retirement, because I'm not going to have anything else to do. So
Right. So basically, you're going to supplement the retirement with this.
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
I'm in the Army.
Okay, but what do you do in the Army?
So I am a assistant regimental master gunner for an armored cavalry regiment.
No shit. So you've seen action.
I've been overseas a time or two.
You kill anybody?
That's classified information.
I don't think it is, because JT told me. Okay.
We'll talk about that over a bourbon some other time.
Listen, I'm just saying that I didn't even get the question out before JT answered. I was like, did he kill anybody? He's like, 34 people, right? And so, all right, well, good for you. Yeah, more respect, to you. And then Allison, what do you do?
I'm a licensed vet tech, and I work for a surgery referral center.
See, vet techs are always so fucking cute, man. So just so you know, Jared, I work with a lot of vet techs. I may run into your fucking wife at a conference every now and then. I can't promise you I'm not going to hit on her, right? Can't promise.
She's really good at amputating things. So.
Listen, I got no problem. I got no problem with sympathy sex. Okay, zero. Okay, I'd be like, I lost my leg, man. But the thing is, the problem now is that everybody knows that I didn't lose it in like Iraq or fucking, in a car accident. Everybody knows I was just an unhealthy fuck the last, 25 years of my life. So they're like, what did you think was going to happen? But anyway, all right, let's talk some fucking sponsors real quick. Do you guys use Reptichip?
No, we can't. We don't have a supplier in the area anymore. We used to.
JT sympathizes, but he does give you a pretty heavy duty fuck you. Do you have a sea serpent's rack in your house?
Yes.
Look at that. Big Chris Nettles does not give you a fuck you. Have you ever bought a snake from Canova?
No.
Justin, who's probably one of the nicest guys in the business, gives you a big old fuck you. Now you have a chance to redeem yourself here. Do you use Clutch?
No.
Justin's just sitting there giving you 2 fuck yous and just having no problem at all with it. Now, are you just geckos or just ball pythons?
No, we also breed jewel desertos, leopard geckos, and working on a couple other projects.
Now's your chance to impress people. Do you have a gecko from Geeky Gecko Creations?
So I don't have a gecko, but I did buy his hides and food dishes for the geckos.
All right. Frank does not give you a fuck you. Okay. Do you use Redline shipping?
We don't.
Oh, what the fuck, man? Robin gives you a big old fuck you. I'm going to give you a little bit of a fuck you, too. What do you use? Gay ship your reptiles?
I don't ship a lot of reptiles. Reptiles to you is usually who we use.
Reptiles? Okay, is that Debbie?
Yeah, Debbie.
I can't even complain. Debbie's fucking kind of cool. I like her. Now, I saw your logo. Okay, it got your kid in it, but it does not look like a Stewart Design logo.
It is not.
Blake Stewart, big old fuck you. Okay, you guys are not doing well here. Okay, do you have a focus cubed habitat cage in your house?
No.
Fuck, people. I mean, have you ever seen the show before?
I did. I didn't. Last time I saw it, no veteran got a fuck you, but this time we get all of them.
Dude, yeah, you guys are getting all of them. Okay, fucking. It's only because you put on a show and now you think your shit doesn't stink. All right, so fucking that's why we're giving it to you. Okay. Who else? Have you ever been to a herp show?
I don't think there's one even close to us. No.
Listen, when there's a herp show, if it's 14 hours away from you, you fucking drive that 14 hours to go to that herp show. Sean Gray is giving you a fuck you. Now, listen.
I've had a lot going on this year.
I'm going to deduct a fuck you because you're right. The last veteran didn't have any fuck yous. And you know what? I'm going to negate all the fuck yous. Okay? All the fuck yous. You guys get thumbs up fucking big time for all of it. I'm still going to try and sleep with your wife, though, just so you know. Fucking, but you get no fuck yous for the interview, so that's really good.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Fucking now, where do you see this going in 5 years as far as the number of animals that you keep? Because how many animals do you keep now?
Between everything, we've got roughly 50 or 60 animals.
Okay, so that's under 100. So
yeah,
I mean, you still have room to grow, right? Because
I
mean, 60 animals is fucking like a walk in the park, for most people.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
Is the plan to get hundreds of animals or no?
I don't want to get to we don't want to get to the point where it takes the fun out of it. Like when we start getting stressed over what we've got now, then we're like, okay, let's back down and calm it down for a minute. We don't want to get to where we're, bamboozled by a bunch of reptiles that we lose the enjoyment out of why we're even doing this.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I appreciate you using the word bamboozled. You don't really hear that one much anymore. All right. It's very, very, 60s, 70s. Fucking, it's a good thing. Um, what's Allison's part in this whole deal? Is she like 50-50? Does she help you with everything? Does she do the Facebook, do the Instagram?
So I do the Facebook and the Instagram most. She does Facebook. I do Instagram. But yeah, we're 50-50 in it. So on Saturday or Sunday or Monday, whenever we get time, we're out there cleaning the rats together, hands full of rat poop, and she helps me take care of everything. When I'm gone, it's her and Chloe. They do it all. So.
Do you sell rats also?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of people there in Tennessee doing reptiles, right? So
yeah.
I mean, there's way more than I thought there would be. And last year you put on a show, or was it the beginning of this year?
It was the beginning of this year. It was April.
Okay. And what's the plan with that?
The plan right now is to keep going, at least one a year. We might bump up to two. Kind of depends on if any of the other shows in the fall decide to back off, so we can do another one. I don't want to compete for vendors, because it's really not what that show's about. That show's about like unity and camaraderie with reptile keepers in Tennessee. So it's not about the money.
And just the local people. And do you get called? Like, do you get called out right now? Like if you had to go somewhere, like would you be going to Iraq or Afghanistan or any place like that?
It's possible.
Like you're active duty all the way.
So I'm active duty National Guard, but my National Guard unit we are on rotation, and we do deploy and have to be called up. So.
Right. Well, fucking yeah. God damn it. That's gonna be the time I hit on Allison when you're gone. All right, because fucking then I'm like, it doesn't matter. I hate doing this to a veteran. I hate giving the buzzer to a fucking vet. I especially hate giving the buzzer to a vet with a hot wife. So, well, how could people get in touch with you?
They can reach us on Facebook and Instagram at Jaw-Dropping Morphs or jdmreptiles@gmail.com.
Why would you not get Jaw-Dropping Morphs at gmail.com?
Because it was a lot to type out.
You fucking lazy ass National Guard people. Like fucking, God damn it. You're fucking cunts. All right. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with me for fucking 15 minutes. I'm gonna let you go. Allison's cooking, right? Because Allison just seems like a woman that knows her place in the relationship. So she's cooking you dinner, isn't she?
You got her fucking not right. No.
I do like to cook though. So
she does like to cook.
See, that's what I'm saying. Well, go fucking have dinner and spend time with your kid, man. Fucking thank you again for hanging out. This is gonna come out this week or the next episode, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days, and we'll go from there. And thanks for coming to Zoom call all the time, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I totally
appreciate the invite.
Yeah, bring Allison more.
Okay.
I'll try to make them.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, that's the only reason I do it, is to get these hot chicks, because fucking the way I look at it, if anything happens to you, I need to be on some kind of short list. Okay. So
she's gonna have a hell of a life insurance policy to cash out. So
then I'll definitely, I would like to be on that short list even more now. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right, Chris, we'll holler. Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fat Man proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Listen, guys, Stewart Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, The quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Stewart Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Stewart Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Stewart Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable, and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Stewart Design today. You could reach them at stewartdesignbrands.com. Again, that's stewartdesignbrands.com. All right, I gotta say that I feel like such a non-contributing zero every time I talk to Ty Park. The amount of work that this guy's put into husbandry, education, conservation, I mean, it's more than I'll ever do, no matter how hard I fucking try, right? So anyway, thanks, Ty. Thanks for making me feel like a piece of shit. Here's my one-on-one with Ty Park of Iguana Land. Look who I have here, everybody. Fresh off another Iguana Fest. Ty Park, what's going on, brother?
Wow. Yeah, it's been little more than a week, right? First, we raised $82,000 so far.
82 grand. Jesus.
Yeah. It's really my goal. You know, it was really tough because, you know, I haven't done anything like this for 4+ years.
Right.
You know, my focus was on Iguana Land, building it back. You know, I'm building it, and it was tough. I mean, it was, you know, all my energy went into it. So to have this Iguana Fest, and it's another new chapter for me. You know, it go back to like me doing conservation work, right? I put that in the back burner for a while. And now I'm really excited about refocusing myself on doing conservation work. You know, my goal when I first started building this Iguana Land was to have enough money left over to at least come up with $250,000 every year for conservation work. Okay. So, and this is part of it. And, you know, I don't know when it will happen, maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I guarantee you, it'll be at least $250,000 a year to conservation work from this place.
Is the park running itself now to the point where it's at least breaking even, or not yet? No, huh?
I'm losing about $1,000 a day.
A day.
Okay. Yeah, a day right now. It's been challenging. You know, it went into a pretty good right trajectory in the wintertime last year. And then the summer was pretty good. And then it really got hot for the last 4 months. And just basically nobody's showing up. And I understand that it's part of, you know, building something like this. And I know I have to keep supporting it, and I'm willing to do that. But yeah, I mean, financially, it's I have to keep selling my investments and stuff to support this. And great thing is my family is behind me. My kids are amazing. Basically, I'm spending part of their inheritance. Uh, but they're all supportive. My wife think I'm crazy. Spending millions. So far, 7 million plus of family money I spent on it, and it's I mean, they all know that it's not an investment. It's not something that I'm gonna get back. It's my charity or my I guess good deed before I die to the leave something to the society. But my budget was 3 million, right? So I doubled that plus. But who would have guessed that there's gonna be COVID?
Right.
I didn't expect Hurricane Ian to hit me directly. Literally we're in the center of it. We had a lot of damage. But having said that, there's always good side to that. I had a lot of people help me. I had so many friends come down and help me. Fort Worth Zoo, Mike Foraker, the director of Fort Worth Zoo, he was here like 2 days after the hurricane and knocked on my door. And he said, what can we do to help?
Right.
And here's the major, zoo director of it and care about little me, Iguana Land. And then ZRD3, it's an organization that Mike formed. They sent crew of 7 amazing workers, craftsmen, electricians, builders from San Antonio Zoo. They drove 2 days with all their equipment and drove up here and fixed everything up for me. They put up all my electric for me in 2 days.
Right.
I had no electric in here. Everything was down.
I remember seeing pictures. I remember seeing video of how bad it was.
I didn't know what to do. I mean, it made me cry. I almost quit again because I mean, how am I gonna get my electric back when when everybody around here need an electrician, right? Everybody. I mean, within 50 miles around us, they all gonna need electricians. And it's 3 months before that, I lost my electrician because he became a commercial real estate person and left the state. So it was a dire situation, but everything happened for a reason. I had some amazing friends, amazing supporters, and they all, I had people come from Tampa, with 20 cases of greens because I can find greens to feed my animals. I had people come down with 5-gallon, tubs of gasoline, because I couldn't get gas to run my generators. But through it all, we lost one animal.
One animal.
One animal, and he was a real old animal.
Right.
And so my staff did an amazing job. They're always behind me. And you know what? SeaWorld gave us grant, probably the only grant they ever gave to nonprofit, because one of the things that they sent me was I have to be nonprofit, and I wrote back to them, told them I'm not nonprofit yet. I'm thinking about it, but I'm still profit corporation. And they said they talked to the CEO, and they said they're gonna make exception.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So So out of this negativity, I have, it was amazing. I had so much support.
Well, you had started building right when COVID happened, right?
Right before, yeah.
And when that happens, the wheels don't grind to a stop just because COVID happened. You still had commitments to people that you had to fulfill, right?
Yeah, well, it was about a year after that I started building that the COVID hit. And everybody knows that I've been here since 2007, right? So doing conservation work, and I already had a lot of employees and a lot of animals to care for. So I had big expenses going out every day. And so for me to quit would have been impossible.
Right.
I was building onto that. And so it was not like I had nothing here and I started building. So expenses would have been much less. I had support on my staff and my animals while I'm building. So that was like, I mean, a lot of expenses that went out daily on top of my expenses for building onto making Iguana Land. And once I started, I didn't want to do it. I wanted this to be a real nice place, right? And that means when I say nice place, that costs money.
Right.
And everybody knows during COVID, all the materials like tripled.
Right.
All the wood, aluminum, brick, everything that I needed it, and tripled. But I had to keep spending money because I couldn't stop. If I stopped, the expenses keep going out. I have to keep moving. I had to do it. So yeah, it was very challenging. I mean, looking back, I don't know how I did it, to tell you the truth. I had so many obstacles, but
Well, also it was almost like the state or the local government was almost actively trying to go against you. I mean, that they gave you a little bit of a hard time, right?
yeah, well, it wasn't really their fault because they had this code in their books, right? I mean, so I was commercial back then, and in order for me to build anything on this property as a commercial entity, they needed engineering drawing and architectural drawing on everything they did. I did, and that included apparently building cages. And I didn't think that I would think that they maybe, building cages would be an exemption. But it was not. One day they showed up and they put red sticker on all my cages that I was building. They said I need to stop building. And they said I need to submit the engineering and architectural drawing to them. And then I know what that means. That means another delay of at least 6 months after I submit something to them, because there's so many buildings going on around this area. They're not going to get to it for 6 months, And so in order for me to do that for every cage, I'm talking about building a couple of hundred cages, would have been 10 times more than what I wanted to spend. And literally it would have been millions and millions of dollars. I see why zoos, when they have building something, they have to raise $70 million, $100 million to build something. I could see the expenses of building zoo. So at that time I was ready to quit. I was saying, okay, that's enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna quit and just be keep breeding, and hopefully I have enough money left over to keep doing what I'm doing, conservation work. But one night I was thinking, I never gave up, and like 3:00 in the morning, the idea came to me. I said to myself, what if I was agriculture? Because if I became agriculture instead of being commercial, they have to leave me alone. I could build anything I want without the code enforcement behind bothering me about every little thing. So, and I also knew that turtles were aquaculture.
Right.
So, and I took a big risk, and I called the department that determined the zoning. And I called them up and I asked them if they could come out and see if they could rezone me agriculture. And so within a month, these two lovely ladies, elderly, younger than me, obviously, but still elderly, they're 50 and 60. They came out with the pad, I spent the whole day with them, and they fell in love with the place. And they fell in love with what I was doing. And they saw these turtles. I mean, and within I think it's like 2 weeks. They gave me agricultural designation. Literally like, yeah, we're gonna help you. You're gonna use agriculture.
So the whole property is now zoned agriculture.
Just the area that I'm doing right now. Yes.
Okay.
Like 7 acres.
Okay.
So I still have 5 acres that I'm not doing anything right now. And if I build things like I keep adding turtle to that area, there'll be agriculture too.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why I have the largest collection of turtles in the USA. For these species. Okay. So yeah, and so when that happened, I called my attorney and I told him what happened, and he sent the letter to the code enforcement, and they sent the letter back and said, "We are off your back."
Nice.
So it was
Okay.
on paper. So
how frustrating was it to know that they were asking you to submit plans on cages when the person looking at those designs on the cages probably didn't even know if those cages were going to be okay or not?
yeah, I mean, they were just following what was in the book.
Right. Right.
Okay, and
Yeah.
they never has encountered anybody building something like that in this county.
Right. So it was mostly county, not state.
It was the county. State, when it comes to state, it was FWC. The biggest thing is they blame me for some of the animals that was found around here. And I told them, look, why are you not going after Zoo Miami? They have iguanas all over their places. Why are you going after some of the other zoos that have animals around them? Why are you picking on me?
Right.
And so I sued them in court, and I beat them in court. And because I proved to them that a lot of these animals that are found around here, they found and blamed on me. I never had it in my life. Like albino boa, savanna monitors, and some of the stuff they found around me, we never had them. So people were dropping them off, and when we were closed, I guess they were just dumping it or something.
Right.
So my lawyer and I fought it, and we won, and we proved to the judge that that we were right. And so their attorney had target on me now. So, and she was vicious. And so then they passed the law about the iguanas.
Right.
I had 600 green iguanas. I was the largest green iguana breeder probably in the world, right? I mean, I was mostly breeding albinos and hats and stuff like that. So, and that was a lot of income generator for me that I could get back to the conservation work, So I had all these animals. When I said 600, I mean, I'm not talking about all breeders, obviously. There were a lot of babies and stuff that I was selling off. Right. So I had 6 months to get rid of them once the law passed. And if everybody know, and all my, staff know, I have no kill policy here. All right. So I wasn't going to kill them. And so I tried my best to get rid of them and sell some. And it was a big task to do it in 6 months. On top of that, they can't be sold in Florida. They have to go out of state.
Right.
So, and I was able to get rid of all of them except I think I had about 70 left. And I was a bad person. I would have just euthanized them because, and then I would not have been in trouble. But I was not gonna do it. So, and then FWC sent the, and I sent out an application, told them, hey, I have these animals. I wanted, the exception to the law that you're passing. So, so they sent out one of the inspector, and I had these room. They had to be double doored and everything else, and I had them all set up in there. And the inspectors came in and pointed out a few things. I think it was you needed to be labeled it differently and a few other things. It was minor stuff. And he gave me a month to fix it, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I have a month. We'll fix this up. And then within 15 days, they came in and raided me.
Ugh.
And apparently they wanted to make example of me. So I had about 3 dozen or so I already sold to Risa in Texas, right? And they even wanted to take those. She was gonna come down next weekend to pick them up, and I had to bag them. My staff had to bag them not to kill them, and they finally said that okay, you could, but we're gonna take possession of these animals that they're supposed to go to Texas, and then rest of them they took and used night killed them. I mean, they picked them all up, put them in a big black tub, and put them in the back of a truck and drove away. And my employees were crying because we knew they were not going to last 5 minutes in that truck bed in a black tub.
Right.
It was the middle of summer. So we were begging them not to do it, but they said they're not going to go very far. That was their answer. So,
we all know FWC doesn't have any compunction with just killing animals right on the spot, after this year.
I don't want to, I'm just going to tell the truth. It is what it is. I don't want to bash them. It's what happened. I have a great relationship with FWC now. All the inspectors are amazing. Last inspection, I had 8 inspectors come in because I'm a big zoo now. And apparently 4 of them were in this area, according to them, and they wanted to see the place. And we passed with flying colors, and we're working with them together. We had some problem with box turtles. Our interpretation was different than theirs, but they didn't find us, and they worked with us. So we're in a very good term with FWC right now. And so, the funny thing is, I knew they were doing this for publicity, because next day it was all on TV, everywhere in the internet, and made me feel like a criminal. But I felt like I did the right thing. I wasn't gonna kill them. I'd rather go to jail before I kill them, right? And I got and I had to go to court, and I had to plead no contest to and I had to pay fine and attorney fee and everything, and it's behind me. Funny thing is, the second and third largest breeders in the U.S., Florida, Tom Crutchfield and Sam still had their iguanas 6 months later.
Right.
And they gave them all these time. All this time, they worked with them. So clearly, it was coming from attorney up north, and they came after me because I fought them in court. That's the only thing I could think of, because they were so unfair in treatment. And the funny thing is, there's still people who think that I'm criminal because they made me out to be a criminal, although they're misdemeanor. But I'm proud of it. I think we did the right thing. We stood our ground. We tried to save as many animals as possible. And the funny thing is, all the TV station contacted me and wanted my comment. I couldn't, because then I will be putting those 3 dozen iguanas that was gonna go to Texas that weekend. I will put them in jeopardy. Right. If I make them mad, they say, okay, we're gonna take all these animals. So I didn't say a word. I couldn't back myself up on TV or newspaper. So I didn't respond, and it was bad. They blamed me for being a criminal because I couldn't even back myself.
Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes and the Fat Man family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every Focus Cubed habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage that Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fat Man told you to drop them a line. It doesn't matter what reptile you're feeding. The Reptile Deli has it all. I'm beyond excited to have my old friend Brian Kazmarchak bringing the Reptile Deli to the strip mall that is Snakes and the Fat Man. I've watched Brian grow this business from a fucking storage pod to a 25,000 square foot facility in a state where they make it almost impossible for a small business to succeed, let alone grow. Reptile Deli has been producing some of the industry's best feeder rodents for almost 15 years. Their rodents are grown under the best conditions and regularly tested for quality to be sure they're in optimal health before they ship them right to your door. Reptile Deli also has a roach issue. They've spent years raising dubia roaches and have put insane efforts into R&D so that your pet reptiles get the very best. They offer cup dubia roaches, bulk dubia roaches, and wholesale dubia roaches in a variety of sizes. Are you one of those bioactive people? The deli offers simply the best isopods and springtails in the business, with cutting-edge isopod and springtail technology that brings in unbelievable shelf life with biostable microhabitat culture cups. They have an incredible selection of isopods for sale, from rare species all the way down to the common roly-polies, man. Reptile Deli has grown into a cutting-edge feed manufacturer and are distributors of the most advanced reptile products. But don't take my word for it. Take the word of over 800 retail locations across North America that are selling their products. Check them out now at reptiledeli.com. Because you didn't want the animals killed.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So. I couldn't. Yeah. I just shut my mouth because I didn't want them to take the rest of the stuff that was going to go to.
Well, potentially, FWC could be an ongoing problem, right? So, but also, I mean, you're in basically a place that gets hurricaned, you know, probably a couple of times a year. Like, what did you really like? Did you learn anything after going through the hurricane about, you know, like preparedness or other shit that's done now that wasn't done prior to the fixing up of the place during the last hurricane?
Not really. I mean, we're prepared. This is the second Category 4 hurricane we went through. So we have our procedures. And all the animal, our job is to keep all the animals safe. We're gonna lose some structures. I know that. I just have to have money in the bank to fix things up. It's part of being in Florida. It's sad part of being Florida, but at the same time, anywhere you go, there's gonna be some something that's, Texas, something different, maybe a heat wave. I don't know, tornadoes or whatever. We just have to be prepared for it. We have our procedures, and I think it's a good one, because we basically catch all the animals and bring them inside. And I built, when I was building the Iguana land itself, I used a lot of concrete, a lot of aluminum. So the structure itself will withstand Category 5 hurricane without any problem.
Right.
So the stuff that I'm building now, the cages, I didn't get any damages to the cages at all. It's the old system that I had, the stuff that I built a while back, the electric system and stuff like that. Those were the ones, the problem. And I still have some old structures here, and all the new structures, they were hurricane proof, and so I'm really happy about that.
Well, and like I saw Gatorland, and they were under like 3 feet of water, right? Like
yeah, I heard.
And you're not close to them as far as distance wise, right?
2.5 hours away.
2.5 hours. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So flooding is not a problem for me here, because I went through many flooding situations surrounding us, and never had problem with flooding. We might have rain, crazy rain. During hurricane, we probably had like 1 or 2 days of standing water. Maybe some areas, maybe 2-3 inches. Within 2-3 days, they're gone.
Right.
My property is very, very sandy, and it has great drainage. So I've been here for 16 years now, so I don't see any problem with flooding.
Right.
So
it's more structural.
Wind.
In wind, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the wind. It's a devastating wind at 150 miles an hour.
Right, yeah, that'll blow the roof off places.
Exactly.
And that was really, you hadn't had a storm like that in a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was the second one that we had. And like I said, we're always prepared. The first one was, we had a little more warning. This one here turned south like 2 days before. They were supposed to go to Tampa, and unexpectedly turned south and hit us directly. So we were not as prepared as before. But again, I built this place as a hurricane proof place, and I'm expecting hurricanes every 10 years or so, a major one. Category 1 isn't going to even hurt me.
Right.
So I mean, we might lose some shade claws and stuff like that at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, but those are easily replaced.
Right.
So yeah, it's part of having animals in Florida, and I won't change anything. I mean, it's animals are thriving down here. They belong down here, and they belong in a subtropical area.
Right.
So I'm really happy with literally everything that I built, and the turtles are just thriving. All the animals are just thriving. Yeah, I'm really happy with all the results so far.
Are you still actively breeding down there? And what do you do with the animals once you get them? Do you keep them all now, or do you still, try and sell them? Because I know a lot of the animals you have are, illegal to keep in other states.
Yeah, well, basically, I probably cut down my breeding colony. Probably it's about a half or a third of what I was breeding before. Because I want to concentrate my energy more on the zoo part, and I've actually I'm not really directly involved with the breeding part anymore. I have my head of keeper, Joe, he has kind of taken over that part. There are some learning curves, but he's learning and he's getting better every year. So I do supervise him a bit, but I kind of left it up to him to take care of the breeding portion, and he's doing a good job. So, I used to produce 700 cycloras every year, right? And my idea was to make them popular because people, if they don't know, people doesn't know, they're not gonna try to protect them, right? It's just all saying, people have to get to know them first. If they didn't know them, how are they gonna protect them? And then if they get to know them and love them, they're gonna more likely to protect them. And so that's one of the things I wanted to do, make them more popular. And then the second part was I wanted to sell the animals, and I won't be surprised if half of all the cycloras sold in the last 10 years came from this farm.
Really?
It's and then I want to take the profit and help them out in the wild. And I think I've done part of that. And I don't know if any other private person have ever done that. I think most of the people who are breeding them are still, do it for profit. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with commercialism. And, and I was a entrepreneur for a long time, 20 years. So absolutely, they should, make money doing it, right?
Right.
And I just been very lucky that I could do this, and I'd be able to take the profit and give some to the conservation work, and so that was my plan. And it worked out more than I thought it would work out. So yeah, I'm happy with everything going on, but I'm focusing myself more towards the zoo now. So this year we probably end up producing maybe less than half of what I was usually doing.
Okay.
But that's okay. It's I want to focus more on the rare stuff. I got iguanas here that I really want to try to breed them. Last time anybody would, I think San Diego Zoo produced one in like 11 years ago. And none of the zoos could breed them after that. So they've been here for 3 years and they're adjusting really well. There's only 3 females left in the US. So I'm going to do everything I can to produce them. And I'm hopeful that I could produce them next year. So those are the things that I'm concentrating on. Some of the more rare stuff. And keep doing conservation work and keep doing the educational part. I have Anna, who is my educational director. She's doing a great job. And then support research. I had a couple of PhD students did their PhD study here on our animals. And I had, a vet student come all the way from Australia. I stay here for, I think I stayed for a couple of months learning stuff,
Right.
Those are the things that I'm passionate about. So I think more and more it's going to happen more and more. So, I've been open for 18 months maybe. And I have to tell you, it's been challenging and it's still challenging every day. Yeah, I'm supporting it. Every week I'm putting money in it. That I didn't expect to put in at this time in my juncture.
Well, you split your time between LA, where your family is, and Florida, right?
Yeah.
So it has to take a toll on the family life after a while, going all the way back to the other side of the country for 2 or 3 weeks out of the month every time. Does your wife totally think you're crazy, or does she know that you're just kind of like doing your thing and you wouldn't be happy if you weren't doing this?
Well, that time had passed a long time ago, right? She the craziness, she knew I was crazy.
Yeah, that train left the station.
Yeah,
huh?
a long time ago. Yeah, so she has her own life. I have my own life, more or less. She has her passion. She have her charity project, and I have my charity project, and I think that part of what make our marriage great. We're not on top of each other all the time.
Right.
We have, we support each other as much as we can, and we do our different own things. And it'll be 40 years coming up in November. So we've been married for 40 years. It's not like we need to hold hands every day, right?
Right. Yeah.
I
You
mean,
cracked the code. You know how many guys would kill to be in your position right now, right?
and she got her own project. She's very busy. I have my own project, very busy. And she also have, I mean, she's a grandma now.
Right,
She has
right.
3 grandkids, and that she's basically her focus is on them right now. So
Right.
she's really busy with them. She babysit them, almost full time, right? And she have her own project, so she's busy. So she's not missing me.
Was it
Um,
was it always like this, or uh, when you guys first got together, what was she down in Florida, or were you in LA?
No, I mean, we got married in Champaign-Urbana because I was there, and I had all my business in Champaign-Urbana, where University of Illinois is. My dad was a professor. That's how we ended up here. So my root is Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. And once I retired, we went back up to a place called Inverness, which is Chicago suburb. And because my wife grew up in that area, she had a lot of friends. She was a Chicago girl. So she didn't really like rural areas. She's basically a city girl. So now she's in downtown LA. She loves it. I mean, she could walk to the museum, and she could walk to any restaurants,
Right.
the best restaurants in the world,
Right.
and the Koreatown is only basically 15-minute drive, and her son, our son, is 10 minutes away.
Mm.
Our daughter is 15 minutes away.
Well,
So
and your son and daughter are, I mean, complete LA people, right? I mean, your son is a
absolutely,
doctor, and your
yeah,
daughter is an actress, right?
yeah. I mean, my son is a trauma surgeon. He's actually he will be a trauma surgeon because he's a 4th-year surgical resident still.
Okay.
But he obviously got MD. But if you wanted to be a trauma surgeon, you have to go through 5 years of surgery, general surgery in residency, and then he decided to do 1 year of research, which is crazy. On top of that, so he did that last year when he has his second son, and then so he had 1 more years of residency in trauma surgery, and then he will have to choose where he's gonna go for trauma fellowship, which is 2 years. And amazing thing about this boy is he was picked as the best or number 1 resident at all of USC. Literally 100 residents in all departments a couple years ago, and they gave him this designation, so he could choose to go any fellowship program in the U.S. There's a shock. There's a place called I think Baltimore. There's a shock trauma, and then there's one in Miami, and then where he is right now, the San Diego. Those are the top 3 trauma fellowship program. And he already decided that he wasn't going to go to shock because he cares about his family. He won't even have family life if he goes there. Right? He'll be literally just he couldn't have any family time there. And then the other 2 is Miami, and the where he is right now. But I don't think he could stay at where he is right now because they already let him stay there for the surgical residency. They usually want you to go somewhere else to learn some other stuff. So, but this boy really cares more about anything else, more than career. Family come first. So I don't know what he's gonna choose. So we'll see within the year or so where he's going to end up for trauma fellowship.
Right.
Yeah, and then my daughter's an actress, and her husband is also a doctor. So they're really busy with their own thing. Yeah. So, and I don't expect them to take over Iguana Land, obviously.
Right. Well, that's where
Yeah.
this was leading to.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody in mind to take over Iguana Land? Because, like, not many people know this, but you're 70. I mean, you're 70 and you still play soccer and you still work 16 hours a day. You're like more of a 40-year-old, okay, than a 70-year-old. So you obviously can't be doing this, forever. Do you have a short list of people that you think are going to run Iguana Land when you decide to retire from this?
Well, right now, I mean, immediate plan is if anything happened to me suddenly, I have my best friend Bob Krause and my wife have to step in and sell the place probably, or find something, someone to run this place. I mean, I always build my company so that it could run by itself without me, and this place isn't there yet. But my staff are doing an amazing job. I think they could run this place for probably a year without me. It won't be the same. I mean, it won't be as clean, and it won't be as, because I'm, sticker for that. It won't. There will be some things missing, but they could run this place for a year or so without me, right? So, that's enough time for my wife and some of my friends to somehow find someone. Okay, I don't have anybody in mind, but I have things lined up. So if something happened to me, they could take over. All right.
Right.
So, but at the core, I'm hoping one of my grandkids would take over. But having said that, I don't know. I mean, they're both of their fathers are doctors.
Right.
And that they might just go that route, and I'm the black sheep of the family. All my families are academics, professors, and lawyers, and I'm just the reptile guy, So I don't know what's gonna happen to my grandkids, and I just like I've done with my own kid, I will never push him into something. I would not influence them toward going reptile, because it's not easy. It's a tough road, It's I'd rather be doctors, It's easier life, right? Although it's a lot of work, once you get there, it's a great career.
Right.
So, but one of them decided that he or she had passion for reptiles. I would definitely at that point I would encourage them, but not before. So I don't know what the end game is. But all I know is that 100 years from now, hopefully there'll be a dusty photo of me in the corner of the gift shop saying founder, and someone else keep doing what I'm doing conservation work, and keep educating and do support research. That's what I want.
Right.
I don't care who it goes to. That's what I want.
Right. I got you. All right. Well, I'm going to throw out a couple of names at you right now, and hopefully you like all of them, so it won't be an issue. But Savannah from Gatorland. What do you think about her?
I love her. I mean, she's great. She's great for the society and great for reptile, industry overall. She's a go-getter. She done a lot for the community. I can't say anything bad about her, really. I can't think of one thing. She's amazing, and I put her in a circle of one of my close friends.
Yeah, she's actually she's pretty great. Brian Barczyk.
I love him too. I've always supported him. A lot of people, badmouth him. I have, sure, there's certain things that he does I don't like, but that's what friends are for, right? You support people, even though they do things that you don't agree on. And I'm the kind of guy. Okay, I see Brian doing something. I talk to him directly.
Right.
I'm not gonna post it all over the place, and
Right.
they say he's doing this and doing that, and make myself look like, hey, I'm better than him because I'm not doing this. That's what it's all about. All these people posting bad things about Brian, they're just basically saying, hey, I'm better than him, and it's a BS. If you care about Brian, talk to him directly.
Right.
All right. And if it changed, great. If it doesn't change, that's your choice. It's my friend. Always be my friend.
Yeah,
I always support him.
you're not going to agree with every goddamn thing that your friends do. And
Absolutely
you know
not.
what a lot of people forget is that there's different ways to get to an end goal, right? So
Yeah.
it's like just because you wouldn't do it that way doesn't mean that he's not doing, he's not making an impact on the community. So
You be a liar if you say he didn't have positive impact on this.
oh, without a doubt.
Absolutely, he done
I
so
tell
much.
people all the time, I'm like, if you go up to an 8-year-old kid in PetSmart looking at a bearded dragon, he's gonna know who Brian Barczyk is. He's not gonna
Absolutely.
know who I am.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, 99% good stuff and 1% bad stuff. You're gonna pick on the 1%.
right.
It's your loss. The man is amazing. If you got once you get to know him, and it's it's your negativity. I absolutely don't accept it.
Right. What about Jay Brewer out there, Prehistoric Pets?
No comment.
Yeah, no, I don't got comments on him either. All right, it's all good. I'm just trying to think. Tyler Nolan.
I don't know him. So I can't really comment on him. Yeah, but I heard bad things about him, and I don't listen to those things, right? I judge people on what I see, and and I don't let other people influence me on me judging people. So I don't know him. So if somebody say bad things about him, I'm gonna listen, but I'm not gonna believe him. And like anything, I'm sure he's done some good things for the society, and I can't really comment because I don't know the man.
Right. Yeah, I don't know him either, and I think that he's done more good than bad, and that's really at the end of the day, that's all you could try and do, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I know he handled venomous and stuff, and you know what? As long as you do it safely, I'm okay with it.
Right. Well, I mean, everybody's handled venomous at some point.
I don't.
Well, yeah, maybe not you, but even like Barczyk, even Kevin McCurley, even like the other huge people, they all. I don't think that's as unforgivable as people make it out to be.
I think it's really stupid for people to say, "Oh my God, it's gonna." Now we're gonna have all these laws on top of us because these guys are doing these things. We're never gonna keep anything else because these guys are doing these things. That's such a BS. I can't believe they're that shallow.
Right. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, even Tom Crutchfield, he probably came up with you, right?
Oh, I love Tom. Sure, there's a lot of things he's done that he probably himself think that he shouldn't have done.
Right.
But you know what? Again, the impact that man has made.
Right.
You cannot downplay that, right? I mean, sure, he done some illegal things. I understand that, and I would never do those things. But at the end of the day, he served his time in jail.
Right.
Right. And I mean, yeah, Tom and I are good, close friends. There's some of the things that he's done. Yeah, I can't believe he did them. But at the end of the day, you support your friend.
Right. That's right.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Tom has a huge ego. So do I. Right? I mean, and I understand the man. And if you are like a zookeeper, and and doing everything by the book. Saying things like, "Oh, we should never have anything that was smuggled in." You know, Back then it was a little different. Even the zoo had animals that were smuggled.
Right, right.
Right now things have changed. So I love Tom. And I don't approve of some of the things he did, and he knows it. He understands it. And at his, as he get older, he's getting mellower.
Right, right.
I wouldn't even approach him 30 years ago.
Right.
Because he was a mean son of a gun, right? and I knew Tom for a long time, and back then I was very cautious talking to him because he had explosive temper.
Right, right.
And then they did whatever you want, So now we're very close.
Yeah, no, that's great. I like the guy immediately. Like you can't really judge somebody from what they did 20, 30 years ago because the person that they are now is not the guy, But like I'm sure Tom looks back now and was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have did that. That was a little risky. Yeah, so but 30 years, ago when you're 20 years old, when you're 30 years old and you think you're invincible, you just try and do what you got to do.
You know what? Good or bad, it's part of history.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's just let's just get a little deep into Thai Park. If you're stuck on a desert, island, what are the 3 records that you're going to keep with you?
What do you mean record? You mean
records, albums?
Oh my God, no way. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't even know because I am
music guy.
Yeah, I'm not the music guy. I'm pretty tone deaf when it comes to music. That's one of the things that I believe me. I love music, right? But one of the things that a lot of people don't know about me is that I lost my hearing, part of it, when I was an infant. I had very high fever, and I hide it really well. All through school, hearing was a problem for me. Even in classes and stuff, so I have to be extra careful. I have to sit up front. I got most of my information from reading, not hearing. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but I hide it very well. But like for instance, I'm playing soccer. The referee could blow the whistle and I can't hear it. I keep playing. So music is one of the things which I love. I mean, I love Josh Groban, right? That's kind of music. Okay.
Right.
And I don't know about some of the new music that people listen to, but I've always said, hey, that's what they enjoy. What am I to judge, right? It's not for me. But I love classical. I love Josh. Pop, mostly pop.
Right. Okay. All right.
But, okay.
All right. What do you hope is written on your gravestone?
Oh my goodness. I gave more than take.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if people could remember me as that, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, and that's the shit. And we're gonna end things on that because I don't think there's a better way to end it. And then I gave more than I take. That's a good deal, man. So,
thanks, buddy.
How could people get in touch with you, man? I know you're not going to give out your email address, but if people want to get, let's say they want to come visit Iguana Land.
Yeah, I mean, www.iguanaland.com, right? And I have, like I said, I have amazing staff. They will answer your emails and phone calls. There's phone number there too, landline. So yeah, contact us anytime. We're open from 10 to 6 daily. And I'm hoping within that couple years we'll be at least break even so that I have to keep spending money, you know? It's
Yep.
kind of getting tiring.
Getting exhausted, right? Spending
Yeah.
the inheritance. Fucking Ty, thank you so much for coming by, man. I'm gonna be at Iguana Land this year or 2024.
Awesome.
And-
You know, that's all it's about. I built them for everybody else. I have nothing to hide, and I love it when other people enjoy it as much as I do, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna come down there and hopefully do some filming and hopefully not be in a wheelchair when I do it. So it's although the
Awesome.
wheelchair, you know, could be pretty comfortable. I mean, it is 7
Yeah.
acres, right? I mean,
We'll make it happen. I mean, you know, and I appreciate you. I really do. When I say this, I really do.
thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Well, thank you so much for doing this. This is gonna come out on the 1st, so we'll share it with everybody and make sure that they all know, man. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
Chris.
Thanks, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Geeky Geckos is Arizona's largest gecko breeder, and they're helping usher the fat man into the leopard gecko space. They have a really popular YouTube channel for education, care, and breeding, and all that other fun shit. And they have an active community on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord over at Geeky Gecko Creations. Oh, since they're in Arizona and it's fucking 98 degrees there in the winter, they could ship year round. Plus, if you buy from them, they basically have free consultations about your collection for life. That's forever. Forever and ever. Call or text Frank today at 480-299-7657 with any questions or inquiries that you have. That's a fucking man that stands by his shit, that he's willing to give out his fucking cell number to all of you degenerates. There's another Snakes and the Fat Man special with Geeky Gecko Creations. It's hard to fucking say. There's a special 10% discount on all applicable animals using code SATFM10 at checkout. Go check out Frank and his awesome fucking animals at geekygecko.creations.com. Man, there's just something about talking to Ty that gets me motivated to do something more in this hobby, because the guy's just a fucking great guy. I want to thank him for taking the time to be here today. I want to thank Jared and Allison Wood of Jaw-Dropping Morphs for their 15-minute segment, and I want to thank all you guys for sticking around. Now, if you guys like what you see here, be like all of these cool cats right here. Become a member of the Patreon family. That's patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. I've been doing a lot more videos and content for there, so believe me, it's worth it. You could join for as little as $5 a month. So, I mean, what is that? 2 cups of coffee? I mean, come on, help a brother out. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, man. Patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. Also, don't forget the Sunday night Hot Girls episode where I'm going to have Jin Black, a local monitor owner here who actually just has a couple of giant monitors walking around her house, and she's just having fun. I believe she has them listed as emotional support animals, so they could literally go anywhere with her. You know, definitely check out Fat Man Live. That's going to be this Sunday with Jin Black. Now, also, one last thing. Well, maybe it's the last thing. I don't know. Bronx Down Under, Tuesday nights. Watch the Tuesday Takeover with me, Luke Strafford of Lizard Morphs, Brian Rivera of Samson's Snakeatorium. I mean, it's just a fun show. We don't really talk about reptiles. We don't really talk about anything, okay? But it's fun, and it's basically a show about nothing. Also, as you can see here, Bronx Down Under t-shirts will be available on the website this week, the Snakes and the Fat Man website. They actually came in finally after about 2 months worth of waiting, and they're available now. Maybe you could put one under the Christmas tree. Just go to snakesandthefatman.com, and I don't know, 3 or 4 days. I should have it up by this weekend. and pick yourself up a Bronx Down Under t-shirt. All right, now this is the last thing. Don't forget, the 15 Minutes of Lame contest starts on December 1st. We're going to do a live on December 1st, launching the contest. It's going to be at 8 p.m. And right after that live, we're going to premiere 15 minutes of Ball Python documentary on YouTube. It's going to be either on both of our channels or it's going to be on one channel. I don't know. We're going to try and simulcast it, but it's either going to be on my channel or Leviathan Snake's channel. They did a great job. I honestly can't wait for all of you guys to see it. Listen, thank you so much for all the support. I mean, this year, if anything, this year, you guys have actually shown it. And it is not lost on me, and I don't want anybody to ever think that I don't appreciate it. So I will see you Sunday. If not, I will see you in 2 weeks on here again, where I'm going to have my fellow amputee on, Bionic Benny, and we're going to talk about all things amputated. Okay, should be fun. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fat Man. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to SeaSerpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.